Good Monday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. This is your outlook for January 13th, 2014. And starting off with the weather map for today, this is actually Monday evening. I do think we're going to have increasing clouds today. Not a bad day overall, but we are going to have a cold front that's going to be approaching from the west here. And it's going to be pressing pretty quickly east here. It's attached to this low pressure that's sitting up here above the Great Lakes into southern Canada or southeastern Canada here. The cold front's going to move to the east, and it's going to bring with the showers out in front of it. This will be rain showers. We're not looking at anything frozen. We think it's going to move in after midnight for most areas on Monday night. And then we get into Tuesday here. The front kind of slows down a little bit. Low pressure forms along this frontal boundary. You can see that right here, and it might enhance the rainfall, make it linger a little bit longer. So we're having some rainfall issues here again on Tuesday throughout the day. This is actually 1 p.m. in this image. And the next frame is Tuesday evening, where we think it starts to pull away. And here's that low pressure system moving up into New England up and heading towards the Canadian Maritimes. Another system is going to be right on its heels. Now this is the kicker system that was actually helping to push this front eastward. There's an area of low pressure here that's going across the Great Lakes here. Basically a clipper system is going to try to redevelop here, but I think it does this a little bit too late here. We're going to go a little bit further in time here. You see the primary heading up here into the eastern part of the Great Lakes region here, and that starts to weaken. In the meantime, another area of low pressure is going to try to form down here, and because it does so, it might start off as a bit of rain at first and then go over to snow. And this is on Wednesday afternoon, which is showing here at 1 p.m. And the very next frame here, again, some very light snow. This is just light snow showers, probably only a coating to 1 inch in most areas, maybe 2 if you're lucky. But remember, this is going to start in a lot of areas as rain, and then as the temperatures drop, we'll go over to some snow here, but not particularly heavy, because the low pressure system really never gets going, so it ends up being almost like another frontal boundary attached to the low pressure system that is up here in the north. Taking a look at the European model, actually has absolutely nothing. This system actually develops much further south, right about here, and then heads northeast from this point. And it's too far to the east here because, and since it is doing that, the area we would have any precipitation would be right along the coastline here of New Jersey as it skirts away here. And I'm going to move this a little bit forward too. You can see this is, it actually brings it in, since it does dig it further south, it does blow it up into a pretty big system here, but it's too far to the east, and this actually delays it until Thursday. So, the European model is right, which doesn't really have a lot of support for being right. We'll have a system that's sitting out here much stronger, but for too far to the east. So you can see where the gray is here. This is only coastal New Jersey that would get into any kind of precipitation. Everywhere else it would stay high and dry. And then heading over to the Canadian model, very similar idea to the GFS, but a little weaker. Just has basically nothing here. Nothing to really speak of. So worst case scenario looking at for Wednesday right now is probably a coating to 1 inch of snow, maybe 2 if you're lucky. But most of the model guidance is going toward the solutions that are either a miss or not much at all to really speak of. So not really excited about this threat, if you will call it, on Wednesday, but there is still a possibility that somebody gets some snow showers or some coatings to 1 inch or 2 of snow out of this, so it's not a complete loss for some areas. Heading back to the GFS, and now we're going to move ahead to Friday. Thursday is going to end up as a dry day. We think Friday will as well. Here's Friday afternoon, and we go to the next frame here to Friday evening. System again moving up to the north here, moisture starved with a cold front moving through. This is going to set up a cold weekend here, so we're going to get into be back into the 30s again, low 30s to maybe at or slightly below normal temperatures for this time of year as we head towards the weekend. We're going to be watching another system that's going to be moving in here over the weekend, Saturday night into Sunday. Looks pretty potent here on this image here, but the GFS does not want to make this into a big deal. Has some snow showers across our central and northern areas here, but that's about it. Again, no big storms in sight in the next, at least through the weekend. We'll be watching a time frame as we get into next week for the middle of next week as for the next potential for something a little bit bigger, but it's still too far out to really call at this point. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for January 13th, 2014. Have a great Monday.